Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today topic is inequality. So basically first of all we need to understand few basic rules before we can try a few examples. For example, if x is greater than or equal to y and there is a positive number, when I say x a is greater than 0, that means I just wanted to say that number is positive. So if you add positive number on both sides of inequality like this, you will not change the inequality sign. Alright, that means left hand side is still greater than its right hand side. Similarly, let's do one example to further understand this. For example, 5 is greater than 2, and if I add a positive number on both sides, you will see the inequality sign will not be disturbed. So that will be 8, and 8 is still greater than 5. And similarly, a was positive, so when you have added a on both sides, you still get greater than or equal to sign. Let's do another example. If x is less than or equal to y, and similarly if you add a negative number on both sides, mathematically we write b is less than 0, that means I wanted to say b is a negative number. So if you add a negative number on both sides of this inequality, still you will get the same inequality sign, like in this case. Let's do an example. For example, 10 is less than 20. If you subtract 5 from both sides, you will get 5, and 5 is still less than 15. Let's do another example. For example, you have a number line and 0 in the middle, and that is -1, -2, and on right hand side you have 1 and 2. And on number line we know every left value is less than its right value. That means -2 is less than -1, -1 is less than 0, and similarly 0 is less than 1. For example, -2 is less than -1, and if you multiply both sides by -1, then 2 will be greater than 1, and that means you have to change the inequality sign. So from this example we can understand when you multiply by a negative number, you have to change the inequality sign. It was less than, when you multiply it becomes greater, and its example is, for example, you have minus x which is greater than 5. When you multiply by minus, it is x is less than -5. Okay, let's learn how to draw inequalities on a piece of graph paper. For example, if you have x is greater than or equal to 0, and similarly y is greater than or equal to 1, x plus y is less than or equal to 5, and y is less than x plus 3. So we will draw all of these, and in this case basically in exam they will ask different type of questions. Sometimes they will ask you to draw inequalities and do not shade the required region, or sometimes they will say draw these inequalities and shade the required region. Let's say in this case we will unshade the required region. That means required region will not be shaded in this question. Let's mark all the values on a piece of graph paper. Since the maximum value is 5, because x plus y is less than or equal to 5, so -6 to 6 will be enough. So first of all we will draw x is greater than or equal to 0, since this is vertical line and on this line x is 0. So first of all we will say x is greater than or equal to 0. That means right side is required, but we will shade the complementary portion, because in the statement of the question if they say do not, because in the question if they say do not shade the required region, so we will keep it unshaded. And when you have greater than or equal to sign, you draw a solid line, or when you have greater or less, you draw a dotted line. Alright, similarly, when you draw y is equal to 1, upper region is required region, so we will shade the complementary portion which is less than or equal to 1. And the third inequality is x plus 5 is less than or equal to 5. Now you have a choice. You can use coordinate geometry to draw it, or you can make y the subject of this equation and then you draw a table. You can choose any two values of your choice. Since x was positive on left hand side, so it becomes negative on right hand side. You can choose any two values of your choice. For example, if I choose x0, you will plug this value in the equation, so it will be 5. And similarly, if you choose x5, y will be 0, because minus 5 plus 5 is 0. Now you can draw it on the graph. First point is x is 0 and y is 5, and second is x is 5, y is 0. I draw a solid line because this is equality, so lower region is required region, so I will shade its complementary portion, which is upper side. Similarly, y is less than x plus 3. Again, beta, you can put the values in this. For example, if I choose x0, y will be 3, and if I put another value, you can put any value of your choice, but I am using let's say 2, so 2 plus 3 will be 5. And similarly, you can plot these two values and then you can draw a dotted line. Since first point is x is 0, y is 3, that is this point, and then we have x is 2, y is 5, that is this point. So now we will draw this, and since there is only less than, that's why this is dotted line. Since all the region less than this line is required region, we will shade its complementary portion like this. Hope you will understand this.